The only thing that was written out was blighted, B-L-I-G-H-T-E-D.
So none of this was an agreement. In other words, okay, here's what I would do. If it were me, and knowing the circumstances beyond it, I'll tell you what I'd do. You got a lawyer? You always have to reach out for a lawyer. You know what I'd say to him? Let's get a hold of the district attorney. Let's get a hold of Sam Sutter and have him take a look at this. How this thing came about. How this thing materialized. Why was it that the land was taken? Under what circumstances? It was left there dormant. Nobody moved on it. They just got it away from you. Cost you a lot of money. And nothing ever happened. I think you're deserving of an answer. Now, if he can look into it, I'm sure he could dig up quite a few things. At least he could ask questions like I'm asking you now. And you don't know the answer to most of what I'm asking you.
I don't.
See, that's the tragedy of that whole scenario down there.
Because he's left in the dark pretty much.
Not only that, but here's what you got, Chris. Somebody comes in, redevelopment, push you out. Like, we're going to take the land. What are you going to do with it? You know, that's the only piece of land I know of in Fall River that's been taken by eminent domain. Am I right?
Correct.
Other than that, there's never been any move on eminent domain.
Yeah.
I tell you something. If it were me, I'd sit with my attorney and I'd say, I want to go visit the district attorney. I want to make the DA aware of what took place. Let him investigate this, if that's possible. You don't know if a crime was not committed here.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's me. And then he can make a determination what, is it going to be civil or criminal in the investigation. That's how I would look at it, okay? Somewhere along the line, somebody owes him an explanation. You know, I mean, I used to go down there when Charette owned it.
Yes.
I know he used to own it at one time. It was a nice place. That being said, everyone in Fall River knows, and we often talked about it, how the guy got parked. All right, they went down, took his land. Somebody wanted it to develop it. Now, how is that possible, Chris and Tom, that I can see your property and say, you know what, I want his property. So I got a Goomba in City Hall, and I say, look, I want Chris's property. Take it by eminent domain. Well, I take it by eminent domain, but something happens. In 82, 83, the bottom fell out of the market for real estate.
And the grants.
Oh, yeah, everything fell apart.
Federal grants.
So then it just became dormant. However, I want to know what right anybody had to go and take that property by eminent domain and then give it to another developer. Why didn't they offer him the same option?
That's my question.
All right,
that's what
let him develop the property.
Well, the thing is why, you know, like I said before, I researched the eminent domain, okay?
Yeah.
And they could take it, but they have to use it for either the city, to benefit the city, or the citizens.
There's got to be a timeline.
Right. But I have not seen something where they can revert it, if there's a timeline for it. I have not.
26 years.
So, I mean, it is a long time, but I have not found it yet.
Right.
And, you know, Noah makes a good point about the legal counsel. I also think you should go knocking on the RDA's door.
Oh, man.
Go knock on their door, you know? Knock on their door. Call Ken Fiola. Ask him what's going on.
Oh, well, you know, you go that way. I mean, that's the redevelopment authority. I don't know how he gets so
involved.
But he owns the land. Well, I don't know how they get so involved, but everything is planned. You can see it.
Yeah.
Just look at the players. You got to look at who the players are.
That's correct.
And then it's going to, you know, there's a paper trail. And it's going to tell you what's going on.
You know what? The paper trail is going to be a circle.
The first thing that I would do, if it were me, I'd get my attorney and I'd say, look, is he a local guy or out of town?
Out of town.
Good.
Well, I'd say, look, I want to go talk to the DA here. And I would like the DA, and I would request that Sam Sutter look into it. There's nothing wrong with asking. If you got something, he might dig up something. Something is terribly wrong with that whole thing, Chris. Okay, he knows it and you know it.
Of course.
You know, but everybody talks about it, and all they say is, "What a parking that guy took."
Well, that's the thing. It's the same thing as like, why is that? You know, was that? I thought
it leaves you speechless.
I guess I'm speechless.
No,
you know, but I'm going to tell you something. You know, there's a crack on the wall. We sit and talk about this crack, but nobody fixes it.
Well.
But you know what? That's not.
They're afraid of stepping on toes.
It gets to the point again where our elected officials, number one. It starts from the top to the bottom. From the 6th floor all the way downstairs. From across the river. Everybody's involved here. Not just the redevelopment authority. Everybody. At that point in time. Now, I can't say anything from that year. Like I said, I was drinking milk at the time by the bottle.
Right.
And someone's got to give you an explanation, Tom. You know, and I'm going to give you as much time as I can on this show. But I want you to say, I really want you, and I know maybe this is your first time, is this your first time on TV at all?
That's correct.
And I want you, this is a very comfortable show. Very comfortable show.
I don't understand. Not to interrupt you, Chris.
You always do, but that's okay.
No, I don't, to be honest with you, but I don't lose my train of thought. You know, senior concerns.
I do. Okay. I'm going to keep writing it down.
Here's what you have, is that somewhere along the line, what would be irking me is that nothing ever happened, and I want an explanation. Secondly, if you wanted that area developed, why was it given to another developer and not offered to me to develop the land? And you know, it just doesn't add up. I mean, there's something wrong.
Well, like I said, obviously the Karens don't have the option on that land anymore.
That's correct. They do not.
Why? Why don't they have the option anymore? Because it's got to be cleaned up.
That's right.
Of something that they made a mess. Someone made a mess of.
Right.
So basically, it's like, Mommy, I have doo-doo in my underwear, but can you clean it up for me? And I'm 10 years old, asking my mother to do that for me. Well, that's the same thing. It's the same exact thing.
What happens after it's all cleaned up? Do they get it back now? After the state comes in or somebody cleans it up, and then they take it back?
They would like to.
Oh yeah, you bet you.
Well, here's what I don't want to see happen to you, Tom, is that you have this piece of property that the state took over. They turned it over to the redevelopment authority, okay? And now this interchange that's going to happen, they make it sound nice that they're going to bring the Fall River and Freetown kind of linked together. But that's going to free up a total of 10 acres of land right around there. And I just don't want to see the 15-man option that had it become the $15 million man option and come in and take it all over. Now, we're pressed for time, but this is not stopping. I'm telling you this right now. This, I'm glad that you came. And don't forget, we're on YouTube, so we're worldwide now.
Right.
I already called my family. I called my family in the Azores. I told them that we're on. So if we need to get an army of protesters to come, they're all fishermen down there. They'll come down and help you.
You know, the thing I want to end up saying is that if you look at what's happened to the development along the river, just take a look at it. The Marine Museum I think is only open part-time. It was closed for a while. The carousel's in deep trouble, okay? The carousel is in deep trouble. There's no denying that, okay? And I know a story about the carousel, by the way. The Battleship Mass is in trouble. The Kennedy needs a $10 million refurbishing underneath, all right? Heritage State Park is closed. You gotta be kidding me. Where the hell is the development down there?
Well, we're gonna find out. Tom, what I want people to do, if you're watching the show, email me at bristolcountynews@comcast.net. And if you have any questions, put them down. I have other questions that already have been asked, but we're going to do that next week. I have questions from people. We're going to address them to you. We're going to put some photos on. You can explain to people what it looked like, and we're going to show you what it might look like.
Bring his lawyer on with you.
Bring whoever you want on you. I don't care. We'll put them on the show. Also, look for us on YouTube. Bristol County News. Search it. We're glad you came by. See us next week. Thank you.
See you next week, sports fans.